Okay, that just pissed me off. That just really pissed me off. Oh my gosh, super beautiful, amazing. I will be purchasing this immediately. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. But this is what I like to see from Lego. They like to tell you who they're going for, right? So my expectations were not met. For the past 30 days, Legos came out with a lot of announcements and collaborations, some that are great and some that are bad. So today we'll be looking at some of the successes and failures of these collaborations, and also how our expectations either were met or not met in these sets. So let's jump right into it and talk about some of these sets that were really amazing and also really bad from Lego. And for those who don't know me, my name is Isaiah Barlow, and this is my Lego Room, my video diary of all things Lego, from opinions to reviews to also talking about our expectations of what was to come out from Lego. And if you like things like this, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification for all our new videos. All right, let's take it right to the website right now. So first things first, I want to talk about my expectations that were not met, and that is in particular with the Nike Dunk Lego collab. I personally was kind of upset about this because I am a sneakerhead. I'd actually had a sneaker channel before this channel called The Common Hype Beast, also known as Isaiah BTV, and I still love sneakers to this day. I still collect, right? However, this collab was just a little bit lackluster. I expected more from Nike and Lego. So first things first, let's talk about the set before I get to the shoes. So the set was this dunk set where it's kind of cool. It kind of is something I will purchase, but one, the price point, $100. Why? I don't believe this is a $100 set. It's super cool. I like that it has dunk on it. But if it was me, we're talking about Lego and Nike, I would want something from Jordan brand particularly. That's one of the biggest like areas of Nike itself. So I was kind of disappointed by that, right? That's the first thing. Two, it's only one set. Right, so we don't get more than one of these sets. Maybe there's more to come in the future. Maybe I didn't read that up yet. I didn't see that in any bit of news, or maybe somebody let me know. But it even from this photo, it kind of screams young adult, right? And I am a Nike fan as well as a Lego fan. So why am I getting, as an adult, just something that seems super cool and creative, but just a little lackluster, right? Also, you know, the dunk wave, and here's for all my sneakerheads, so let's take off the Lego hat for a second and go back into sneakers and fashion here. So the dunks got really popular during 2020. They've always been popular to skateboarding, but they got more popular in pop culture when it came to 2020 and COVID time. Right now, dunks are not necessarily the wave. So why are we using dunks with a basketball? Because I mean, I get it, they are Nike dunks, but usually dunks have been used for skateboarding majoritively. And my issue is that, like, you could have chose a Jordan 1 here, but you chose a dunk instead, which the dunk does have the same silhouette, but maybe I'm just nitpicking, right? But overall, this set for $100 is kind of simple. I like the words. I like the shoes there. I like the basketball. I think that's really cool and all. But for me, for $100 and for the hype that was set around this set, I do not think it was necessarily worth it. Okay, so that's the first part about it. It did have a t-shirt. I'm not going to rag on the t-shirt, but because I do think that's definitely for a younger crowd. There was a basketball as well, which I think is kind of cool. It is out of stock, and I do wish I kind of had that. I think that's a cool like collection piece. But let's talk about the Air Max DN. And to me, I think these are just kind of simple. They're kind of interesting. I like how there's like, you know, brick pieces on it in a sense, where you can like put Legos on your shoes if you wanted. When I used to review sneakers, boxing and packaging is something that matters to me. It's about presentation. And so I think that is really interesting. But for $150, and they are sold out. There are only youth sizes. Okay, that just pissed me off. That just really pissed me off. So this shoe's not even available for an adult. But I feel like this was a moment where they could have easily like captured the sneaker community and also just sneakerheads in general, and you didn't. You had a moment in time to do this. This is a really, really cool collab, and you guys just did it. So I'm a little disappointed in Lego on that factor, just being honest. I'm very disappointed. My expectations were very much let down. So for the price point, as well as the set itself, was only one set, and then a pretty cool shoe. I don't think the shoe is actually bad at all. It's just, I just wish that they did a little bit more with this shoe, or add another colorways or anything like that. Like, it just makes me feel like it fell flat a little bit. So a little disappointed by the Lego Nike collab. So my expectations were not met. Now, let's brighten the mood up a little bit, because this was great. Good job here, Lego. The Gameboy Lego collab. Now, I took Gameboy Advance inside of my reel that I did for this, or my YouTube short. Forgive me for everybody who cooked me in the comments for that, because I did say Game Boy Advance. I was just going off my own nostalgia. But this right here is art, okay? And I will be pre-ordering this the second that pre-order comes out, if it's not available. But what I think is super cool is that there's game cartridges that come with this, right? So let's watch this video really quickly. Oh my gosh, super beautiful, amazing. I will be purchasing this immediately. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I just really love how, like, there's those 2 game cartridges. I'm a big Zelda fan, so that's really awesome. And I believe it came with Super Mario as well. Yeah, it looks like Super Mario Bros. So really cool collab, and I love the details of this. There's so much detail. It's so cool. Yeah, now this is an amazing piece of Lego art. And look at this. Well, first of all, presentation, fantastic. But this is what I like to see from Lego. They like to tell you who they're going for, right? They like to tell you who's their target audience here. Children are not playing a Game Boy. They didn't play that, right? People who are born past 2005 did not play a Game Boy, right? That being said, we see who is on this picture right here as I scroll back down to it. That is a grown man playing this, because this is for the adults here. I have nostalgia for the Game Boy because my sister had one and she had a Game Boy Color as well. Like, this right here is for me, not for anybody just regularly, right? So for all those who are going to try to get this, yeah, leave it up to the older people. Let's get this, right? But the packaging looks amazing. I actually really love the packaging. Very much nostalgic, very retro. They did a fantastic job on this, right? So super excited for it. And let's just zoom in on this real fast. Boom, 60 bucks. This is what I need to have more with Lego, is affordable sets that actually mean something. Things that actually have a decent amount of, like, you know, like desirability here, because we're talking about a set that's super nostalgic, comes with 2 game cartridges. I have no gripes about this set at all. I think they did a fantastic job. Shout out to the designers. I cannot wait to do a review about this set. So make sure you guys subscribe so that way you guys can get ready to see that Lego set review. Like, this is so cool. I'm sorry. There's no way you see this and not like how this looks and how, like, beautiful it is. And that, love it. Love it. Can't be upset about this. Love the game cartridges. Everything about this set. And then it has a little stand for itself. They knew what they were doing here. Somebody cooked here. Somebody really cooked here. You gotta love this. Like I said, adults welcome. They know who they're going for. Lego, send me one right now, please. Let me review this joint. Now, moving on to the Lego One Piece collection. I actually recently started watching One Piece from the very beginning. I'm on one pace. I'm actually watching in 2x speed as well, because I'm trying to catch up, right? Everybody's telling me to read. Hey, I like to watch some things, right? So let's talk about the things that just really catch my eye. Number 1, the Going Merry. That is iconic, okay? And if you're somebody who loves One Piece and loves the idea of, like, you have the Going Merry, my homeboy, he actually is probably going to buy this. Gary, shouts to you. He's already told me that he's considering buying the Going Merry, and he doesn't even do Lego like that. But it's amazing that this is getting people into Lego, because this is just amazing. It's the Going Merry, and it does come with the original crew of Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, and Sanji. So this is a really sick set. And like I said, if you know One Piece, to see the Going Merry built into a set, that's awesome. But the best thing about this that I personally really love is that they chose to do this as a set, right? Because when you think of One Piece, you know, there's a whole lot of lore there. You have a lot to really work with from different areas, different characters. But to build something like the Going Merry and even have the flag the right way, this is a beautiful piece of artwork right here. I gotta give them their props for this. My expectations was definitely met for this one, and it is $140. I think this is a set that could have been a little bit bigger. I wouldn't have mind if it was a little bit bigger, but I think this is a perfect size for anybody to get into, because I feel like it was too big. It's going to draw people away, right? Some people who don't do Lego, who want to buy this set, they're going to be like, no, I don't want it, right? Too small, it's not worth it. But I do think this is a medium-sized set. It's good on a wall, good on a shelf, somewhere really nice, and you can really show it off and show off your love for One Piece. So super duper shouts to that. And they have the Barati. This is really dope, because I actually finished this episode recently. So you even have, that's right, that's Mihawk or Myhawk. All the One Piece people who are watching, I'm sorry. I am watching in a dub right now. I don't want to. I'm only watching a dub because I'm doing it in 2-tone speed. Forgive me if I got Myhawk or Mihawk wrong. However, they have a ton of freaking characters out, and that's available for this entire set, which is really dope and awesome. I forgot everybody's name. I do see Kobe right there at the very end of there. but super duper sick. Love that they built this set. And the cool part about this is a bigger set, hence the $329.99 price point. Now, this is definitely for a Lego fan who loves One Piece, right? The Going Merry is for pretty much One Piece fans who want to get into Lego, but this is going to be a bigger set, a lot more detail. Makes sense why, because it seems like there's a lot of different aspects of this set. Example, you got Usopp and Zoro right here eating. This is very much in the Harry Potter, Star Wars type of realm when it comes to sets. Like, there's detail here. If you're a fan of this, you're going to love it. And as we see, you can open up the back and there's more things on the back of it, right? So I want to kind of zoom in a little bit on this. There's so much going on in the back of that behind the Baratie that is really, really sick. So shout outs to Lego for building this set. My expectations were also met with this one. Super really cool set. All I really would have cared for is the Going Merry and the Baratie. That's really it. But they do provide several different sets for different people depending on how much money they have. You're not just subjected to the Going Merry and the Baratie, which it might scare some people to pay $140 for a Lego set or $329.99. They also give you a $29.99 Windmill Village hut. They also give you the Buggy the Clown Circus tent option for $54.99, and they also lastly give you the Battle Online Park for $80. Long story short, there is a bunch of different options here. So the point of this video I just want to talk about is Lego. Make sure you continue to give us options when it comes to our sets, because the reason why my expectations were met with the One Piece Lego set collection versus the Nike collection is that in the Nike collection I don't get options. Right? That's the problem here, that there is not options available to me for different sets. I'm only subjected to the Nike Dunk for $100. I don't get maybe a different set for $54 or a different set for like $40. Like, you could have gave me, you know, basically the size of a Speed Champ set shoe. You could have gave me that and I would have been very, very happy with it, but you don't. And that right there is a little frustrating because I feel like my options are limited. And then lastly, you gave me only kid sizes for a Nike Air Max. Versus the Game Boy, you only announced the Game Boy, so I only expected one thing from the Game Boy, but you gave me the Game Boy and also the 2 game cartridges with it. So this was just one of those situations where you gave me the hype, but the hype matched the set, so it makes sense there. But also versus the One Piece collaboration, which I had no idea what it was going to look like. We had no idea what was to be expected, and y'all delivered with multiple sets at different price points for anybody. So at the end of the day, Lego continue to give us options. That's what sets apart the One Piece collab compared to the Nike one, because at the end of the day, what's on back order is the Going Merry as a set, and what's not on back order is the Nike Dunk X Lego set. And that is the end of the video for us today. Let me know how you guys felt about all the sets that were discussed. Were your expectations met? Were they not met? How do you feel about the sets that have came out? And also, what sets are you excited for and picking up in the next month? My name is Isaiah Barlow, and make sure again you like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell notification for all my new videos, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.